to On the Air with Lock and Load Publishing. We are here to have a great time and discuss everything from games, designs, production, to simply what's on our minds. We let you know what has us excited in the gaming industry and what's next for Lock and Load Publishing. Grab your helmets. This show starts right now.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
I forgot my helmet.
Okay. Make sure I got everyone here. All right. Deb, are we properly set up everywhere?
We're good on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube.
Okay. I'm going to start this off with a few little announcements like we've been asked to do. If you guys come back on and disappear, it's me messing around with things. Just don't take it personally. Except for you, Dan. Okay, guys. We'll start off with Sean is coming. Okay. Point Blank Designer. He did the updates to Nations at War. And he's going to be a little late because his computer started doing an update in the middle of the...
Gotta love those Windows 10 updates at the most inopportune times.
Well, I'm a Mac fan. Okay, guys. Steve, I see you. Okay, we're going to start off with last week's debacle. Okay. Apparently, if you're part of a Windows group, the chat will not go through. That is the final word. So we did not do any Windows groups as far as putting the video there. We're only going to show it on the Lock and Load Facebook page and on the YouTube page because those are the only two places I know that the comments are coming in. So if you made a comment last week and we didn't see it, we weren't ignoring you, or we have an excuse for ignoring you, and hopefully it won't happen. Steve, can you see me? Are you hearing me? Let's see. All right, Steve, because Steve was one of the guys who we couldn't see last week. Okay. Steve seems okay. Okay, for other news for you, if you didn't know, we do have the Lock and Load Christmas sale has already started. It ends November 18th. Few people ask why we're doing it so early this year. Main reason is because the last 2 days of November this year are Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and it gives you a very limited window to get packages for Christmas presents on time. So we will have a Black Friday through Cyber Monday super special, but it's only going to be 1 or 2 items. This is the big thing. This will really guarantee it gets to you before Christmas, barring any craziness. And so that's pretty much for the Christmas special. Okay. What else do we have for you? The packages. Okay, let's talk about Kickstarter since everyone loves this. The games are not on the boat yet. Are supposed to be on the boat yet. This has been ongoing. I did ask for my connection at the printers, and I do talk to these guys, whether it be messenger or chat or some email, multiple times during the week. And I know we've been thinking it's going to be on the boat and thinking it's going to be in a boat. I'm repeating the information I'm getting, guys. Okay, I'm not just making this up out of the clear blue sky, but. We did show a video of the games being produced, and I asked Amy to send this to me, and I want to give a shout out to Amy Wong at Magicraft. She's really done a great job for me, keeping me in communication with stuff. And basically what had happened was she showed me World at War 85, and I took it to mean that everything was done and ready to go. Apparently they were still doing Space Infantry because a couple of days later, the Space Infantry video came in. Okay, so I'll take the blame for that. But I wanted to show you guys in case you wanted to see for yourself. I see something behind Tom.
Tom's got a tail.
Okay. And
it is near Halloween.
Here's a video of the production stuff if you haven't seen it yet, guys. So. Okay. Now, what is going to happen exactly when it does get onto the boat? Okay, there'll be a container ship going to England. Okay, for all the EU orders and the UK orders. Okay, there'll be a ship going to the United States. There'll be one going to Australia and one going to another place in China, but that's going by truck. And the games will be distributed from there. As each place gets it, as each place ships it out, I'll be notified and I will update the proper, places that I do, and go from there. If you don't know, okay, there is on Lock and Load's Facebook page, there are groups. There's a World at Wardy 5 group. There's a Space Infantry group, amongst other things. Okay. A little bit on our schedule. We didn't do it last week. We had a little bit of a scheduling conflict, so Tom and I felt it better to delay it 1 week. So here we are today. We're going to have a kind of a busy week. We're going to have a special show on Friday. Mark Faircloth is having Devon's going. Keith is going from for World at Wardy 5, and so is Jeff, I believe, right?
Yes, Jeff is going to be there as well.
Playing a copy of World at Wardy 5, but it's full miniatures. Mark has done just an incredible thing where he's redone the game in miniatures. He's hosting this convention at his offices. He's basically just doing everything, and we really cannot tell him thanks enough. So Friday, we'll call it a Halloween special. So Dan, you're a little early with your Halloween costume, but you get to put it on again on Friday. Okay. And we're going to talk to these guys. We're going to talk about what they're doing, and we're going to have a camera that's going to be above the gigantic miniature map playing the game. So you'll be able to watch it, ask some questions, and we'll go there. Sunday, a week from today, we'll have Sean on here with Shane, the artist for Point Blank, and they'll be talking about the game design, what cards we have, what we'll be doing, etc. So I think that is all of the exciting updates that I've got, unless someone's got something for me that I've missed. Okay. Let's see. I don't see any real questions. Friday is Day of the Dead, or Toten Sonntag. Thank you, Mark. Didn't even know that. Okay, guys. So let's get Tom on the roast. Tom on the questions. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I've known Tom a long time. Okay, and he's still talking to me. And and Tom is the programmer behind Lock and Load Tactical Digital. Okay, and basically it's a computerized board game, not a computer game in the true sense. We're not up. Oh, hold on, guys. We have a breaking announcement. There he is.
Hey,
Hey, everybody.
nice to see you, Sean.
Hey, nice to see you guys.
Okay.
Oh my God, my Canadian buddy.
Okay, but listen, what everyone doesn't
I'm
know.
going to pick with you, by the way.
What you don't know is last week was Sean's birthday. Okay. And he's, what'd you say he was, 64, Sean?
No. Women never tell her age.
Okay, we're going to take 1 second out here to wish Sean a happy birthday, everybody. All right.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Wait till you see our anniversary gift for you. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. All right. So anyway, Tom, going back, since Sean was late, going back, Tom has done work with me back when I had Matrix. We did.
I'm even wearing your shirt. So.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. We'll take one checkpoint off.
Yeah, there you go.
And my shirt, if you want to go through it, I know we always talk about. Frank says, "Hippity hoppity, death is on the way."
I love it. I like fantastic.
What do you got on today, there, Dan?
I got
Hold on. Oh, I took them off. There we go.
Looks like you got a fishing hat on.
I like that one. Okay, that's better than last week's, I have to say.
I think last week, so I had my No Enemies Here T-shirt.
Is that your mushroom picking hat?
No, that's my fly fishing hat, Sean. This is my mushroom picking hat.
Same hat.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to again. There's Tom's there. He's the developer of this. Tom, I'm going to let you, I guess, start about what your plans are for this, and leave it to you then.
Well, my plan is to finish it one day. That's the first plan.
Oh, Mo just showed up.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Mo.
Hey.
We were just talking about you, Mo.
Yeah, we were.
I heard.
All right. So, for those who are interested, the mini convention for it's called Contact Atlanta 2019. That is Mark Faircloth's convention. Like I said, Friday will be on the air. I'll have a poster up during the week. I think we said it will be 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So just so you know. And I already said about next week. So, Sean, I'll let you take over there, Tom. Go.
What do you want me to say?
Well, let me see. I've got any people's questions. Mark, Dan says that, Mark says that you have his hat. Well, that's my dad's hat. Sorry. Okay. If anyone's got any questions, just type them up there. I am paying attention this week to it. And I guess let's talk about the game. I know we moved over to Unity.
Right.
And I know you're working on the multiplayer. So why don't you give us some just overall, and then we can go to some of the pictures and screenshots of it.
Well, I mean, it's lock and load in computer format, basically. It's I don't know. It's been a long project. We started in 2014 with doing all things zombie because we thought that would be simpler, but it ended up taking a while, and we're finally like, well, let's just do the lock and load for real because we want to do that in the first place. So for, I guess, about 15 years, I've been programming in C, and the world had moved on. So I had to also, in order for things to work nicely in the modern world, I had to jump up to C# and Unity. So there's a little bit of a learning cliff there, but I finally got the hang of it. So we're currently we're doing testing. More testing would always be better. We're down to there's like 2 or 3 guys on the forums that I get regular testing feedback from, and I would like more like 20. But it's near to being released for the first batch of stuff. The first batch of stuff is basically in the starter kit. Those 4 scenarios there. That's the first thing. And then for Normandy, for example, there's like 48 scenarios or something. So we've split them up into various packs of about a dozen each. And so the first batch of Normandy and the first batch of Vietnam are almost ready. And
Okay.
I echoed myself for some reason.
That's you.
But,
Okay, someone's echoing. Stop it.
Someone's got an extra window open.
echo. Uh-oh.
That's sitting in his face.
We're all going to have to mute one by one until we figure out who it is.
I'm muting now.
All right, hold on, wait. Figure out how to mute. Is it gone?
Test. Oh. It wasn't doing that. Well, now, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, I think it's Sean.
No, he's pointing.
Actually, he looks like he's mad and screaming.
I think he yelled up at his wife. This ought to be interesting if it flares up.
Fight,
But anyway,
fight, fight.
so I've been working on this for a long ass
That's
time.
you, Sean.
And
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's ask me questions.
Okay, let me see. All right, well, you know what? I got some screenshots here. Hey, Sean, you got to fix that. Oh, it's all gone now, Sean. See, it is you.
Isn't it always Sean?
He does cause me some unique problems. I will say that.
I'll just like sign language or something.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you got 15 languages for us. Okay.
Get a whiteboard out and write on it.
Yeah, you can hold it up, like you're underwater. Okay. I got the screenshot here, guys. These screenshots are big. They may not be as clear. What we're going to try to do, too, is have Tom actually play the game while we're online, showing us what's going on. We've never done this before, so we're not 100%.
I have my doubts about the frame rate, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're just going to see what happens. But we have screenshots. We're going to start with the screenshot. Tom, if I'm not in order, let me know. I gave it to me. But this is, I know, the main menu. And you can just talk about this and the options that are available if you don't mind. Mm-hmm. And if anyone asks a question, I will put it on the bottom of the screen. Or Sean, your thing is still echoing. Okay. Okay, here we go, Tom.
All right. Well, this is options here, obviously. I guess the reason I put this up here is to demonstrate some of the different ways that we're sort of simulating different aspects of the board game. Like you have the X maps, for example. So we have a little check box for that under interface. I mean, in reality, all it does is shrink the little counters down, but it's like you're playing on the X map because you can zoom in so far in the computer game that you can kind of make it look like that. Messy counter placement makes them a little more cockeyed for people who don't put their counters in the right locations. The nighttime map tinting is something you can turn on and off because I know some people get irritated with that sort of bluish color, but it does sort of add to the immersion a little bit. And then some delay things there. And then there's a few optional rules in Lock and Load, so I have ways to turn those on and off. And the vehicle size modifiers and the vehicle speed modifiers, those are always specific to a module and usually hidden on like some piece of cardboard somewhere. So some people may not even know those exist, but they're in there. And then the skill defaults was one of the challenges for a computer game, especially if you're going to try and play another person, is you have to deal with the fact that the other person is not in the same room as you and cannot respond immediately to things. And so for some skills, like erratic is the one that I've got in there, for example, in order to sort of deal with that, we have a way to set where you automatically use it. When I finally get around to putting in the preempt skill, it's going to be another thing that I'm going to have to put there probably. And Lucky Man is another one that is in the same sort of needs a reaction from another player type of thing. I think that's why I had that slide there.
Someone is asking a couple of things here. Does this use this is based just on the 5.0 rules, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not doing 4.1 or anything else. It's 5 only.
No. I when we started, because it was 2016, I think when we really started, we were still on the 4.0 rules, but the plan is for them all to be 5.0. I know one specific thing I haven't yet done is the smoke update, but the plan is they'll be 5.0.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to guess this is the next one, Sean?
Yeah. Yes, that's a demonstration of the interface. It's a challenge to try and make this game easy for people to play who don't know how to play Lock and Load in the first place. But we're trying to sort of give the player prompts as to what's going to happen when you push each button. So for this example, we have the American guys up there. They're the ones who are selected. And the player has moved his cursor over that German unit to the south, and it shows what's going to happen when you left click and what's going to happen when you right click. And hopefully that sort of thing will sort of train you to be using the right mouse buttons at the right time. The general rule is the most common thing you're going to do is the left click. So it does occasionally change. For example, the most common thing that you want to do when you hover over an enemy unit is fire. So that's the left button. You may want to move into there, and so that's the right button. If he was hovering over an empty hex, for example, it would be left button to move. And I understand that's a little confusing, and I've gone back and forth on this many times, but I've sort of settled on this, and I haven't gotten too many complaints about it, so I think it's okay. Also, we have little buttons at the bottom there for all the various other things you can do. They have hints that pop up when you hover over them, and they all have hotkeys, and those are if you played XCOM, it's kind of modeled on that, where the buttons come and go based on what's available. So the same number may not always go with the same thing, but I'm planning to get around that by having specific hotkeys. Like M would always be like assault move or something like that. I haven't actually done that yet, but that is the plan. It doesn't seem too tricky to have them shifting around. But the interface is always a huge concern for me to make people able to play it.
All right, you want to point out anything on this particular? I see, look, there's a little American stars next to some buildings.
Okay, yeah, those are the victory hexes. They kind of pulse to make them more obvious in the game. This particular scenario has like a ton of victory hexes on it, so you can see there's some on the building on the left, some on the building on the south. There's a little shack-like building in the middle. They're all over the place, and currently the Americans are holding them all, which is kind of weird because there's Germans in that one. But this is a scenario I've actually just put in, and it's not done yet, so I'm probably a bug or something. What else?
Look at what's the top left box? Oh, sorry, top right box.
That's where it's going to say the scenario name and the turns and the victory considerations, which are, one of the things about the board game is almost every scenario has its own victory conditions, so they're put there to remind you what's going on. And for this particular scenario, it's saying how many points each side has and upcoming reinforcements.
Now we have to leave that on the screen. Can we turn that off if we don't want it on the screen?
No, there's a button to turn that off. It's V, I think, or you can drag it around and resize it and stuff. All these things are, they're not Windows resizes. Like you don't drag the box to resize them, but if you click on it, it rotates through a couple of different sizes.
Okay. And the next box down?
That's the general sort of what's going on window. There's a symbol for whose turn it is, and then the go to the next phase or end the turn button, which currently says pass because that's what's going to happen. And then above there appear like other things that would happen in the turn, like asking for reinforcements or placing a sniper or, stuff like that.
Okay. And what about the center middle bottom, I guess?
Well, the bottom right one is just a message log.
Okay. And what about the one with the 2 units on it?
Yeah, that's where that shows what's in the hex you have selected. So out on the map, you can see there's a red outline around that hex near the top. It's got that guy, and underneath him is another squad, and you can see them both down there. And you can select individual units down there by either clicking on them to select or deselect them, or if you right-click on somebody, it'll just be only that guy.
Can you?
It's not very many people in that.
Can you click through the hex to see?
Sorry, what's that?
Can you click through the hex to see what's in the stack?
If you hover over it, they sort of spread out.
Okay.
But generally, you look in that window down there to see them all.
All right. Okay. Mark wants to know time frame availability. About 2 years ago.
There's a couple of things with that. We always want more testing. Personally, I always want more testing. Because I've been working on games forever, I am used to there being a whole fleet of testers, and we haven't really had that many active testers lately. But in order to help with that, starting in September, I started working on 2 things that will hopefully make the game a little more tester-friendly. And the first one is it's on Steam. So although my process for building and uploading it is no quicker, when people go to download it, it is way faster than it was. It used to be you go to Dropbox and get like a 200 meg download every time, and now it's like Steam does it all automatically, and it's super easy. But we need to get you a beta key from Steam in order to do that. And the other thing I've been putting in is multiplayer, which is not ready to be played yet, but it's very close for the demo. I think snipers is the only thing I left to do for the demo, the sniper interruption, which is going to be tricky because of the latency and stuff, but otherwise it's getting there.
All right. We're also going to have it available through Lock and Load, so you can buy from us and then also get a Steam key from us. There's no charge from the Steam key, but I will say this: if you get Steam first, you can't get a key from us. Okay, it has to go us to Steam, not Steam to us.
Right, and the multiplayer stuff is all using the Steam library because it actually works extremely well. I was pleasantly surprised at that. So it's sort of if you want to play multiplayer, it's going to be on Steam.
Okay, and one of the things that Tom and I I'm not going to give you a date, but we're shooting. I'm going to say, Tom, tell me if I'm off. We're shooting, let's say, hopefully before Thanksgiving to release what we call the starter kit in the board game, which is the 2 scenarios from Heroes of Normandy and 2 scenarios from Heroes of the Nam.
I think that's pretty safe. I think, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say before Thanksgiving, or maybe that'll be one of our Black Friday gifts. It'll be a free download that you can beta test. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. Again, it's not guaranteed, but that's really what we're shooting for, to really kind of kick this a little bit more into play. I'm going to show the next screen, and we can talk about that. There we go.
Oh, well, that's just an event. The other thing about the board game, in addition to the different victory conditions, is there's a ton of different events that are, often silly things happen or strange things. A lot of them are, it was kind of interesting because when you're playing the computer, a lot of the text doesn't make sense. I had to make up a bunch of the other side text. So if there's any complaints about the writing, that's on me. But this is just an event that was triggered, and it's letting you know what's happening, and more units are going to show up and liven up stuff.
All right, guys, hold on. I'm going to take a little break here. Give me 1 second.
On the air with Lock and Load Publishing. We'll be right back after this message.
Hey YouTube, welcome to Convoy of Hope. We're a humanitarian organization based right here in the middle of America. But every day we're traveling the world, meeting and helping amazing people. This is where you can find their stories. Around the world, we feed kids, empower families, and bring hope to disaster survivors. And we want you to be a part of it. Get involved with making the world a better and more hopeful place by subscribing and sharing with your friends.
Okay, guys. Well, does anybody have any questions for Tom?
I do.
I do.
Somebody raising his hand.
Who? Who do you want to talk? Me?
We always want you to talk. Don't you know
that? Tom, I'm Dan. How are you?
What's up?
I have a fountain pen.
Excellent.
Okay. Now, just the last screen that we saw, the events.
Right.
Are they random, or is always every time you go close to that hex, like an ambush type thing, it pops up?
Everything so far has been exactly how it is in the board game. So a lot of the events do have random components. Like in Assault on Veerville, the reinforcements come in from a random direction. Stuff like that is still random.
Okay. And by the way, very good work. It's very nice.
Oh, thanks. That's always a trick.
and I had more questions, but I don't want to. I got a big mouth, Tom. So see, and can you want me to hold back? You want me to hold back?
Just so we know, Dan runs No Enemies Here, which is a weekly news podcast on wargaming news.
Okay.
And he's probably the biggest celebrity in wargaming news publishing right now.
Really?
Wait, you're just saying he has dozens of fans.
Dozens.
Let me say this, Tom. Have you ever heard of me before?
No.
There you go.
He's not that big after all.
I just want everyone to know we brought a special video. It's 30 seconds on No Enemies Here, and here you go.
Let's go. This week on No Enemies Here, voting starts for Grognard of the Year 2019. Also, we take a trip to Worthington Publishing with Grant Wiley, and John Krantz of Compass Games give us a little lowdown, and this is how famous I am.
So what's the name of your thing?
And you're watching, I already forgot the name.
Hey, Bill Molyneux here. What am I supposed to say?
Everybody knows me. Don't forget to vote for Grognard of the Year.
Give me your...
No Enemies Here, Wargaming Year.
Great segue. Getting the hang of this.
Yeah, well, I have 2 more questions. I don't want to hog it here.
Right, you know what? Let me do this. Let me go to Mo. See if Mo has a question. Yeah. And then we'll go to Dan, and we'll just circle around.
Well, one question I have is about mission editing. Is there going to be any capability to do that?
That is a trick. These things are so complicated. I kind of made a weird scripting language to program them in. I mean, I've made a document. I think when we're done with everything, maybe we'll consider that. It's not easy. It starts out easy. You write down just like the units and the hexes they're in. That part's great. But as soon as you start getting into advance and victory conditions and all that kind of stuff, it gets really complicated really fast. So I think the answer is maybe in the future.
Sure. No, I was just curious if I know other people will be curious about it too.
Yeah, I think the
if they can do the battle generator.
Try and get the battle generator in, but I haven't even. Generally, that's pretty simple, but I haven't even done anything on that because it's I had other things to do.
And we wanted to multiplayer in first.
Yeah.
Because we really want to get more play testers to play test the stuff. I mean, and we didn't want to make it, like I said, it's not supposed to be a computer game. We wanted to make it a digital board game. So all those guys who are familiar with the board game can sit down and pretty much play with a little bit of limit of an interface, but they already know the game. And if you never played it and you jumped on top of it, it wouldn't be that complicated to learn. Devin, what you got for us?
Oh, I got a bunch. We better let Dan go first. I've got a bunch.
Sorry.
No, not at all. Do it, Dan. Do it.
Okay. Tom, on your options menu.
Yeah.
Why have an option for X maps? Why don't you just use the X maps? Who doesn't want larger hexes? I mean,
it's me. I'm the one who doesn't want the larger hexes.
Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I've actually had complaints from gamers when we started switching over to just X maps. A lot of gamers didn't like that. They liked the little map for whether it be playing space, which obviously doesn't affect the computer game. Hey, you know what? Give the people what they want. That's what I've been told.
I'm pretty sure it defaults to the X maps though, so they start out that way, and then if they if they can't see, they can zoom, change it.
And I have another question on the options menu, if that's okay, or someone else wants to go. Okay, so now what I saw is a what's the delay parameter and the AI sniper delay parameter? What's that all about?
I think the delay is just a general movement delay. I don't remember.
Like what? But
the sniper delay is because you in the board game, when somebody's moving along, you can interrupt and say, "Hey, I'm going to put the sniper down now," right? But when the AI is moving and it just zips, if it just zipped that little guy along, you wouldn't have a chance to stop and say, "I want to do it now." So there's an adjustable delay to slow it down if you have a sniper available. So
basically making it easier?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how, it's a board game. It's not like a action game. So you can make like a second or whatever between each little hex move, so you have time to reach up there and hit the button.
I'm glad you should, for me, you should have like an hour's worth of.
Yeah, it's got a pretty high maximum, I think.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Steve. All right. Steve also asked if it will have an editor. And like I said,
it's the same complicated answer.
We're not saying no. We're saying we probably will, but it will not be in the first initial release. It'll probably be near the end of when we're doing stuff.
Yeah, and I hope you like text files, unless I actually get around to making a real editor. I guess Dave will want. Dave.
I want
to type in text files. Is not going to.
I can see all kinds of issues with that. All right, let's go to Sean. Sean, what you got for us?
All right, how am I sounding now, guys?
Well, you're fine
so far.
All right, so far so good. Okay, I'm interested in how ordnance is going to work. Are you? So if I want to fire an ordnance, am I gonna have to flip the? Do I have to flip the counter over to read the chart on there, or is something gonna pop up? Or
that stuff is actually, when you hover over any counter, it pops up a window. I think I forgot to put in a screenshot of that. It pops up a big window that has like the ordnance chart and all that stuff on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And smoke, is everything, all the markers going to be a counter, or are you going to get creative and do something different?
Yeah, currently they're all counters. Even smoke, and there's one other I was thinking of, but it's all turrets. Yeah, the turrets are counters. They're not like little spinny things on the tanks. That'd be nice, but it means somebody has to go through all the art and erase all the turrets that are on there and draw new turrets, and nobody wants to do that, I guess.
Yeah. Come on, Dave.
It's on my to-do list. I'm writing it right here for you. Okay. I know Mark Van Marshall, my opinion, one of the great wargamer graphic artists. He's been making you specialty counters.
Yes, I have a shot in there of that. If you find the one with the wire gate on it, that's one of his new counters.
Let me see. Now, let's see. I don't see that one. I'll go through. When I go through them, just point it out. I can't tell from here. Okay. Oh, look at that. It almost took 30 seconds. Someone asked, we're going to make those counters available for the board game. That was quick, guys. That was really quick. Okay. I don't know. It depends how many counters we have, how does it fit a sheet and everything else. My guess is down the road we will, but far from it, not coming out tomorrow. Okay, Tom, here's the next screenshot. I got screenshots of the menu, I guess the scenario menu. You want to go over that first or go over the one with the hexes?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, whatever wins. Here you go.
Yeah. Man, we just changed the background of this too. I got a new nice green background from Mark. So yeah, basically it shows all the modules that exist at the top there, at least all the ones I know about. And then the ones that you had, purchased on Steam would light up basically. So we have like the Heroes of the Nam and Heroes of the Normandy in this example are the ones that are available, and then you would click on which one you want to pick scenarios from. So right now I have selected the starter kit and then the 4 scenarios in the starter kit. And then as far as game options, you would set, which side you want the computer to play. I mean, you could play human versus human, but that means you're playing both sides, and unless you have a friend there to do the AI for the other side, I guess. Scenario balance is going to add or subtract units on the scenario based on designated units that I did for each scenario. Usually it adds units. On some of the scenarios that have a whole ton of units, then I felt more free to subtract a few from whichever way you have it set. And then there's also an option to adjust the scenario length as I put in after I played. There's some scenario in Normandy, Attack of the Kona's Shear or something. I cannot win that scenario. I'm like 2 turns short every time. So I'm like, I need an option to be able to win this scenario. And then Fog of War, because David always completely nags me about this. So I put in a Fog of War setting. You can, default is none. That's the board game. You see everything that's out there. If you put it on initial, all the units are not shown on the board until you first would have a chance to spot them. Like if they're behind 2 blocking terrain, for example, then they wouldn't be shown. And then they move into that blocking terrain that you would be able to possibly roll a spot roll, and then they're shown from that point on. And then full Fog of Wars, if they at that point move back out of where they could be spotted, they'll disappear again. So a couple different settings for that.
Okay.
You'd pick the module at the top, basically.
Yeah, if you look at the top guys, you'll see it's kind of faded, but you'll see most of the game modules, and the smaller images show the module belongs to the game to the left of it.
Yeah, those are the ones that I thought were gonna be like the add-on dependent ones for those ones, like Dark July for Motherland and whatever that one is for Pacific.
Hell Frozen Over, I think it's
Yeah.
Basically what we're doing, guys, is we're breaking the modules down. So you get Day of Heroes. You can buy it, I believe, when I'm not mistaken, in sets of anywhere between 8 and let's just say 15. I'm not sure what the number will be. It will fluctuate.
Right.
And you can bounce around too. So you could buy the first 8 scenarios or 12 scenarios, whatever it may be for Normandy, and then race over and buy the first 8 or 12 or 15, whatever it might be for the Pacific.
And some of them are all going to be in one. Like Pacific is only like 12 scenarios, so there's going to be the Pacific.
Right.
Yeah. No,
also,
all the same way.
Right. Also, things like Hell Frozen Over, you have to have Heroes of the Pacific to play. So if it's a smaller box next to a bigger box to the left of it, that's the game you'll need. So again, Dark July 43 needs Heroes of the Motherland in order to play it.
But I believe the plan is to make these things affordable as well. I mean, it's not
right. It's we're doing it so you're not paying $50-$60 every time you look at a module. You're dropping.
Yeah. And the other reason we're doing it is so we can get something out instead of waiting for it all to be done at once.
Right. Yeah. We wanted to get you
Unity and the Unity and C# has been surprisingly friendly to me adding stuff in the middle. So I'm pleasantly surprised with not breaking pre-existing data structures and whatnot. So that it should be pretty straightforward.
Can I ask a question here?
Mm-hmm.
Again?
Yeah. The AI, is that based on the lock and load solo module cards type thing?
No. That would be nice, but there's already way too many decisions in that the AI would have to make. All the times where you're kind of thinking, oh, I have to pick the best whatever. Well, that's the problem with AI. It has to pick the best whatever. So it's all its own thing. And
Okay.
I didn't see those until like a month after I started anyway. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not a very good fit.
Sorry, Sean. Sean's the one who designed that.
Yeah. It's just it's the kind of thing the computer is what it asks you to do. So
Dave didn't want to pay me an extra licensing fee. So
that's possible.
Yeah, I was fed up with that. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Here we go.
That's the same picture, isn't it? Oh no, now we have Heroes of the Nom selected.
Oh, picture?
Yeah. So here, somebody has gone and clicked on Heroes of the Nom. So you see all the various scenarios there. They don't even all fit on the screen, so just put in a scroll bar, and you've got little brief flags to indicate which side is going to be in each scenario, and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And there's nothing else different on here, right?
No. It's all just pack one for Nom.
Okay, and here's another one.
Yeah, and here's one where you can see now Normandy, since I have two packs kind of together. Underneath Normandy, there's two little Roman numerals there. Although with Mark's new screen, we're thinking of moving that to be under the scenario sorter area because it already was kind of jammed up there anyway. But so over on the left, we see Kelmos Bridge is from pack one. There's a little Roman numeral in the corner of the button. Or if you go down to the one I have selected, the road to Fouquerville or whatever, that one's from pack two. And then they all get mushed together there, sorted by name or date. You can, toggle them on or off by pushing those Roman numerals if you really must know what pack each one came from.
Okay. Now this, I believe, is what you were talking about of Mark Van Marshall's new design for everything.
Oh, yeah. Wait, where'd that come from? Yes, I just put it in like Friday.
So let me get this right. If you look at this one, that's the old design of the
Yeah.
And this is the new design.
Yes. It's like magic.
For me, it was.
Yeah. No, actually, it's not too bad to change menus in Unity. It's an interesting experience, though.
Okay. Now that's all the menu stuff.
Yeah, setup stuff.
And did I show this? Yes, I did.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. Here's a new one.
What was this? Oh, this is the pop-up, the results window, where you can set the delay on this. Oh, that's probably what that other delay you were asking was about, probably the results delay. So you can turn this basically off by setting the delay to 0, or if you want to see it, you can set a delay, or you can put it to maximum where it like never goes away until you click on it, basically. So you can see how the combat results are broken down with the die roll and the modifiers and the total and all that stuff.
Okay. He's asking about it's a scenario.
That would be with French, I believe, wouldn't it? I don't
think we have that yet.
Yeah.
If it's not a walking with tactical module now or coming right now, it's not going to be in the game. We may change that, but right now we're really kicking what's in the board game, so you can match it up basically.
Yeah, I mean, I myself put in two kind of. I'm not real sold on them yet. Normandy scenarios, so we'll see what happens. It was mainly because I was testing some stuff out, but I was like, maybe a scenario.
Okay.
We'll see if they make the cut.
Okay, and then we have this now.
Well, people are always wanting the upper and lower stories on buildings. So this is an example. This is actually probably I think the other picture will be better first. There's two that are related to this. No, it would also. It's the same scenario. Yeah, here we are. Oh, well, they kind of go together. I guess they're showing. So there's a line of sight checker thing, line of sight string. And so here I am in the program. I've selected that hex and I'm checking the line of sight to where those Germans are. And it doesn't happen as often as you would think, but there are occasions where the line of sight would be broken to the ground floor, but not the upstairs. And this is one of those times because upstairs is not blocked. There's a fence there that blocks it to the downstairs though. So what I've done is I've hovered the mouse cursor in the upper half of the hex means I want to check the upstairs, and the lower half of the hex checks the downstairs, and it shows upstairs or downstairs and the results in the hex.
Okay. And then going back to this one?
Yeah, it's the downstairs. It was actually blocked by the wheat, but yeah.
Right, so it's showing it blocked. Okay.
Yeah. It shows where it's blocked at.
And this?
That's the results screen.
Okay. Is there anything on there you want to point out? Or?
Yeah, I don't. You can see that the event markers are out there, just like in the board game. There's no no surprises, I suppose. Okay. Oh, that's the odds. For the people who must know exactly what their odds of failing are, I've got that in there. Yeah, I mean, it's all based on die sixes, so it's usually got some.
Tom, is that something
in there, but
cannot be turned off for those who don't want to know?
Not right now. I mean, I could, I guess.
I don't see you writing that down.
You could just not look at it.
Yeah, that's a little hard on the screen. But now make a note of that. I think some gamers, like back when we were doing Matrix, some gamers like to know all the odds. Some gamers don't like to know the odds.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you like to know the odds?
Well, I guess because what they do is they kind of, when you play a board game, you know, you're not looking around and saying, okay, that's 63%, that's only 48%. You're just taking your best shot and you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the odds are actually surprisingly complicated for some of this stuff because it was so complicated I didn't even want to do it mathematically. I just ran all 36 possibilities and then spat out the result because it was faster to do that than for me to do the damn math.
So you wouldn't want to know the odds of running for a machine gun nest in an open field.
Not everybody wants to know
Yeah.
One of the things is some people don't like when people sit there and have some AP and try to math out everything because it kind of slows the game down.
Okay.
And this is also, I mean, remember in Lock and Load, when you do a damage check, you're doing a damage check against every single unit in that stack. So the odds given here are the chances of causing an effect to one of the units in the stack. That's not your chances of killing everybody in there. That's your chances of like maybe shaking one person. So
okay.
I have to do that for the computer to seem smart anyway. So I was like, I'll show the
Are you doing any kind of dice animation or anything like that?
No, there's not. The problem with rolling dice is it's nice to have 3D dice that roll around, but then you have to either depend your results on the dice or you have to somehow rig it so it always has the proper side up that comes out. It's a big pain in the butt. So what I did instead is there's these little floating dice that pop up with the numbers on them. They kind of come out of nowhere and slowly fade away.
Okay, Dan, this is a tip from Al.
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
All right, next screen. This is different.
Okay, so yeah, this is the reinforcements thing where you come on. So this is in the scenario the Germans start off the board. So you would on this screen you would basically create a stack of units by clicking on individual units, toggle them on or off, and then I have the instructions in the corner of the window there, or drag a weapon onto somebody, and then you select what move mode to come on because you may want to come on an assault move or I guess crawling if you're very, very cautious. And then once you pick who you want and click on the use selected units, you would show up on the side, to place them in the proper hex. Sometimes this window can have a lot of units in it. Some of these scenarios are quite large. Colarville in the Normandy is got 1 million units.
Okay.
This is showing you saw on the bottom. Normally you only see that one window, but in here, the hex I have selected, that lower left corner of that building, has units that are both upstairs and downstairs, and so in the two windows that are now covered up by that guy's question, you can see the units in the upstairs is that squad and a machine gun, and then the units in the downstairs is the leader and a different squad and a different machine gun. So, and then you would select them by clicking in those boxes individually.
Okay, Tom, that's all the pictures you sent me.
It could be.
All right. Let me see if I have anything else here. Well, you know what? We'll take one more quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll see how well this works on the computer, Tom. So get ready.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
It's the one the year with Lock and Load Publishing, and we'll be right back.
We're moving!
Dad, are you okay?
Yeah. No, I am, son. It's okay.
Okay, guys. Devin hasn't said much today. What'd you do to him, Dan?
I was just patiently waiting for my turn. That's all.
Prepare yourself, Tom. Okay, Deb.
I'll try to keep this short, sweet, simple, and succinct. I've been able to get into the playtest. I've played this several times.
Your name looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I have sent you feedback. And some of the questions that have come up through not only my own playtesting, but the video that I shot to kind of premiere this to give people kind of a taste for it. One of the questions that come through, what does this have to in relationship wise to the original Lock and Load Streets of Stalingrad game? People are wondering if you're using the same base engine, if it's going to be a similar gameplay is set up to that. It's just something that's come up a few times.
Well, I'm the person who programmed that other one, so I'm very familiar with it, but we started over basically.
Now the original was in C, right? And the new one is under Unity.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure it was Visual C6.
Visual C6. Okay. Yeah, because there have been a few questions like, is this a sequel to it? Do I need the original for this? And I mean, what exactly?
It's the same board game, but very little else is.
Actually, it's not the same board game because the rules are 3 of them.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
And
it looks like the same board game.
It was a made-up module that doesn't exist in the board game.
Yeah.
So you don't need anything to do with the old game. It's not compatible with the old game. This is based really on the 5.0 rules and all the new modules.
It's in fact, some of the interface is different, and I did that because I think it's better this way. And the other one, I believe you, man, it's been a while. I think you right click to move and then confirm your movement or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played, but the UI was a little rough.
I know the left and right buttons are swapped for some of the functions, and it took me a little bit to adapt, but I think it's better when you can see what's going to happen. I think it ultimately makes it easier for the player.
This is definitely a better evolution of the system. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Also, if people are wondering about the AI component of this, the AI is more than competent. I will fully admit I am not a clever man, and the AI kicks my butt on a regular basis.
It's hard because you want it to be cautious, but there's a really fine line between having it be cautious and having it not do anything. And I would rather have it do something that was like semi-dumb than just sit there the whole time. So it's a really fine line to walk, and I hope it works.
Oh, like I said, it kicks me in the teeth quite often. One thing that has kind of cropped up as a question, variable scenario setup for the AI in the different scenarios. Now, I've tested this out myself several times, and a lot of the scenarios have at least 2 or 3 different setup modes. How have you addressed this, and is this available in each module?
There's nothing fixed. It's basically at its core level, for every game I've worked on, there are probably some other way to do this, but for every game I do this, the AI is basically making numbers and deciding which of these numbers it wants to use, right? So at the scenario setup, it assigns values to all the hexes that it could put units in, and then there's a small random component in there, and then it just puts units where it thinks that highest value hex is. And so because of that random component, you end up with random setups, and each unit that's put down is affected by the previous units that's put down. So that also means, like, sometimes you'll have the guys with the machine guns in the north, sometimes you'll have them in the south, sometimes the tank will come on here, sometimes it'll come on there. So there's nothing fixed. It's all just completely random. I mean, there will be plenty of random. I suppose if you had some very simple map with like one mountain on it or something, you might get the same thing over and over again, but I haven't seen it happen yet.
Well, I was just noting there was a preponderance of it being set up in similar hexes, not necessarily the counter stacks being similar.
It takes into account the number of hexes that other hexes can see and be seen from, and the terrain modifiers, and that has a strong bearing on where it wants to put the units, as well as the victory hexes. So it's going to tend to be nearer those, or can overlook those, or that kind of thing.
So that was even actually more robust than I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I have on my version, like when I play it in the Unity editor, it has some extra keys that the other people don't have, and when I push R, it redoes the setup every time, so I can like mash it a few hundred times to make sure it looks, not way out of whack. But yeah.
Also, Steve I was asking earlier the price point on this. I don't think that was answered. Has that even been decided yet?
We're going to make the starter kit / the core engine free. That's the plan.
Right, those four scenarios.
Try it, make sure that they like it before they spend 1 penny. So I expect to hear no bitching about the price. Okay, and then what will happen after that, okay, is those other modules that are not technically the starter kit, you can buy. Obviously, they're not all be available day one, but there'll be a lot of them available. So you can buy the rest of the Nom or the rest of Normandy. The Normandy version this is going to be based off, it will be Heroes of Normandy, so it'll have Swift and a Bold and what was Band of Heroes all in one box with all the corrections and stuff that we know. One of the things we didn't discuss, which we probably should, is on the board game we had X maps, and we were all happy with X maps. And the snare would say, "Hey, pretend this building doesn't exist on these."
Yeah. That drives me up the wall.
So Mark, our graphic artist, and Tom basically said, this is ridiculous on a computer game. We all agreed. So Mark went and made, I'm going to call it custom map, where he took the building off, but he also went around and customized the buildings so they're kind of unique. Some of them, they're not always the same. Now, if you got a row house with 4 or 5 buildings of the same right next to each other, yeah, they will be the same. But they're different. They're a little bit more customized, and that's why we have 4K X maps, because some of the gamers asked for them. But the computer game, when you play a scenario, you don't have to pretend the hedges in here or the stone walls now, or whatever it might be. It's all been removed or added or adjusted as the scenario would require it. Did I get any of that wrong, Tom?
No, I think that's about right.
Okay.
Does the game come with a box and a lid?
Oh, no. Now I have that answered for you, actually. Here we go. Okay. Actually, the game will come in a DVD case with DVDs.
And a box and a lid.
And a box and a lid.
You mean you can actually buy this in physical form?
Yeah, we're working on that now. We're going to do that with Command Ops, Tank on Tank. Really, we had it done, I hate to embarrass you, so this probably about a year ago, and we just didn't do it because of all the other stuff we were trying to get accomplished. And there's really only about 3 or 4 of us, honestly, doing all
that. Now, I'm curious, why would you do it in physical form?
Well, some people, it's the same old thing. Some people want the CD on their desk with their serial numbers. So if Lock and Load, buys out to Macy's or some ridiculousness, and the company, look what happened with Talonsoft. And I'm going back for your old school of the computer games. They got bought out by Take-Two. They make Grand Theft Auto. They didn't have anything to do with that. You kind of wonder why they bought the company, but all those games disappeared for a while. And so if you didn't have your stuff, well, that company's gone now. How do you get it anymore? It doesn't pay for them to produce it, and then you lose it. So we keep all this. When you buy something from us, everything is kept in your account on Lock and Load. So your serial numbers are there. When you want to upgrade your serial keys to Steam keys, you literally click a button and they're there, and they stay there. And you can download it, and you can re-download your stuff unlimited amount of times. So there's no, I don't know if you guys remember, you used to have to pay $10-14. You can re-download your game that you already purchased. These are all things that back when we were doing that, we just found just totally ridiculous. Someone is asking this question: World War First? Yes, and I don't know when, so I don't have a better answer than that, guys. And this is my favorite question of all. Guys, I keep telling you, listen, no monsters. Okay. I'm not saying that we may not
Zombies.
make a zombie scenario, but we may not make a zombie scenario.
Well, what about the there's what, 1 or 2 zombie scenarios, I think, for Day of Heroes?
I think they're up. I don't think they're in the game.
Compendium somewhere.
They're in the compendiums, yeah.
If they're in the compendium, they will show up then. So maybe there will be 2 zombies.
Speaking of
there you go.
Yeah, speaking of Day of Heroes, that map board is squares.
Yes,
So
I have verified that works. The scenarios for that one are fairly complicated, but the map itself is not going to be an issue.
Okay. But line of sight, too, that had to have been real hairy. I mean, I guess I don't know how you do it programmatically, but, picking what pixel blocks a line of sight or something like that.
No, it doesn't do that. It does a hex per hex.
So it's if there's blocking terrain in a hex, then the hex blocks everything?
Yeah. In Heroes in Stalingrad, there was pixel by pixel, and it was a tremendous pain in the ass because somebody has to go in and mark the maps as to what pixel is what, and it did not come up as often as I thought it would.
So is that a core? That's a core difference, I think, between the board game and this. Then.
Yeah, but I mean, people can always argue about if this palm tree leaf is part of the ground or part of a tree. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's something I've done before and something I know how to do, and something I know is extremely time consuming. So it's maybe like.
I think one of the examples is you have 2 buildings and 2 hexes, but there's clear,
Right. Oh, well, yes, I do have that. If the buildings are adjacent, they're marked internally as different buildings, and it does allow line of sight between those buildings. Well, you know what? There was some arguing about that rule, though. I forget how that resolved for the rules. Remember for 5.0, there was somebody saying that shouldn't have been allowed? I don't remember the details on that.
I don't remember that, but they complain about everything. So
whatever it is, I made it match whatever the real rules were. I can't remember.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Someone's asking about the space infantry lock-and load tactical module. All right, that is moving along a lot better than I thought it would. A lot quicker, and it's playing very well. So more than likely you're going to see a space infantry or a sci-fi edition of lock-and load tactical. It's still going to use the core rules. It will have module rules, and the maps are going to be the biggest difference because there's going to be space stations and I guess underground caverns. So it'll be a little bit different, but it's coming. So you guys gonna have to give me some time there.
Hey, David, are they making the stats for these guys like on the same scale so they can come down?
Exactly the same. I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Like, so they effectively have like firepower 5 and 6 and whatever and can come down and complete.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't load any of those graphics up. If I get a chance in between what we're doing here, I'll throw some on the screen. But yeah, that is the plan.
All right. So the space aliens can come invade World War II or whatever.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I have to tell you, it played extremely well.
Yeah, they're all linear dice rolls. It should be pretty cool.
Okay, someone's saying
two more questions.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, the first one is the multiplayer. Is this going to be you both have to be on the same time to play it, or is there going to be
because of the fire?
Okay,
there's too many reactions to do any sort of email thing.
All right, so I was wondering if it was going to work like that, or if it was going to work like how Field of Glory 2 does it, where you do your turn and it emails off to a server and you can download it later.
Yeah, the only way to do that would be if you sort of somehow entrust the AI to do opfire for you, and I don't think anybody actually wants to do that.
The last question I have is, and I had an email on this in my mailbox when I got home tonight. Are you still accepting playtest or people to join the playtest team?
That's David, really.
Depends how much money they're paying. No, hey guys, at the end of this, if you guys want to be a playtester, okay, I will open up the floodgates, okay, and so far all we've been getting are drips. Okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, I just implore you, if something goes wrong in the game, hit F1 because it takes a screenshot. It sends me a save game, and you can type in what happened, and I can usually recreate what happened if it was an AI thing because it's a save from before the AI did its move. and it should be pretty painless from the tester standpoint.
So what we're going to do is we're going to, like I said, provide beta keys from Steam. So you have to have a Steam account, okay? And we will tell you, or we will sign the keys through the private beta form on the Lock and Load Publishing forums. So you go on there, you join up, post in the regular Lock and Load Tactical digital form that you like to be a beta tester, and there's a very good chance you'll get signed up now. I will say this, okay, guys, if you're going to beta test, do Tom a favor. Please beta test. Some of you guys, I will not name names, but I may be showing pictures later. Okay, guys who've joined, download the game, and I don't think we've heard from them again in a few cases, or they played once and then they disappear.
I mean, even if your like input is, I could not figure out how to play this game, that would be good to know.
That's still input. That's still input, though.
Yeah.
Someone's asking play testing for what? We'll talk about play testing, Lock and Load Tactical Digital. Okay, and for those who are not sure what we're talking about, it's a Lock and Load Tactical board game, fully on the computer, AI, the whole bit, but it's set up as the board game. It's not set up as a digital or a computerized game, so it's not going to give you pretty graphics necessarily. Planes flying over, dropping off the pad troopers. Maybe the counter will float down, thanks to Tom, but that's pretty much it, guys. But yeah, it's for the and it's being built. It is built on Unity.
Yes. So I mean, it works. It theoretically works in Mac. I don't run it on Mac very often, but when I do run it, it seems to work.
I've had no problem. I haven't run it on Windows. I run it on Mac, and it works fine. I've got no problem.
I love the confidence.
Well, you know.
Well, there's only about 10 people that use Macs anyway. So.
Yeah.
Those are the
We'll
smart.
run like Commodore 64.
Yeah. Well, you know, it runs on my 2010 Mac laptop, which is kind of weird if you ask me.
Yeah, and it runs in Catalina. I'm running Catalina, and I'm running actually the not the release, but the beta. I'm into like the third or fourth beta of Catalina. Yeah. It's not had any problem. I mean, the only
I guess this Unity thing might take off.
Yeah, right. Who knows? See, look at that. He's got his stuff together. He runs on a Mac too. That's two.
I can't.
Wow, we have 20% of the whole world market right here.
There you go. Yeah, I used to be a Windows guy. I'm not a Windows fan anymore.
I never was a Windows guy.
Yeah, I was. It took my brother years to get me to switch.
No, Dan is more.
I still can't figure out how to install the damn thing on a Mac for real, but Steam does it now, so it's on it works now.
All right, guys. Do we have? Are you ready to? Let me say. There's another comment here, guys. There you go. Mark's another Mac guy. See, look at
that. Yeah.
You know Marcus Blastpop, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, the crazy thing I found about the Macs though is your resolution is insane. It's like 4,000 and stuff. I'm like, I gotta make. It's good. It would be good to have people running on it to make sure everything is legible and stuff.
Well, I told you I can run it. I have three 32-inch Mac monitors here on my desk. Like I got 2 and 3, and that's the only way I can run all this stuff at once. And I have played it on the full thing, high resolution, and
I mean, I'm glad you can zoom in all the way to pixel level, but I'm like when I did it on my computer, I'm like, this is way bigger than anybody's ever going to. Who's going to want to look at two hexes on their screen? But then you look at it on Mac, and it's like, oh, these are the people to do that.
I'm with Steve on that one.
Well, Dave's layout there, he's got 3 32-inch monitors and a Mac, so that's what, $75,000 worth of gear.
Actually, no, I bought the monitors on Craigslist. I got 6 of these Mac monitors. I gave 2 to Blackwell. I gave 3 myself, and I think I have 1. I think we have on an extra Mac out here.
Yeah.
And if you buy them used, they're really not that bad.
Used are off the back of the truck.
Well, I tried to stay away from the back of the truck. FBI, we do not do things off the back of the truck. Okay, next. Okay, anyone else got any questions?
That's all I had.
What about campaigns?
There's no So in the board game, there's a few campaigns, right? There's the Noville one. I haven't gotten to that yet. There's one in Motherland. I haven't gotten to that yet. There is one linked scenario that I've gotten to so far, and that is in Normandy. It's in one of the compendiums, I think, but we're putting it in Pack 1, where it's Kellam's Bridge linked scenario thing. So it's just done on a scenario by scenario basis.
Okay.
Whenever I get a Noville, then there'll be a campaign like that.
Yeah. Cool. What about sound effects, or just sort of having some stock ones, or just kind of?
No, we got better than that. Tom has recorded some great stuff. He goes pew pew pew.
I did have that, and it took Dave a few months to
when we
notice.
first started the game.
I think we should live stream the sound effects as someone's playing.
Yes, but my goal was to make the sound effects irritating enough that David would replace them for me, and he eventually did.
I remember when Dave sent me a copy of that, I was like, this is definitely not ready for release, is it?
Okay, someone's got a question. I'm going to throw that to you, Tom.
Yeah, I have no clue. We're just going to run it on crappier computers until it stops working. I mean, it runs on my 2010 Mac laptop. It runs on my 2010 PC, but that PC was fairly speedy at its time. I mean, it's if you can scroll the map around and click on things, it'll run. So, some of the textures are 4096 by 4096. So the graphics card is probably going to be a limitation. If your graphics card can't do that, then you're out of luck. Unless Unity cuts them up, maybe Unity does. That's the thing with using these other engines. I'm not entirely sure what's going on underneath. So, yeah.
No, and that's why we want the beta test. I mean,
yeah. And also to have the demo or starter kit be free, so you can just download it and see if it works, basically.
Okay. Yeah, and that's exactly why we're making the starter kit or the core engine free, so you can try it and realize, oh, it's not going to work on my machine, and you're not out any money. I mean, we don't want a dime from you if you're not going to be happy playing the game. Okay. Okay, so guys, Tom.
Yes.
I'm going to set this up.
You're gonna make me crash my laptop.
Well, we're going to try.
I have it. It's been sitting here running in the background doing nothing. So far so good.
Okay, so how do we do this? I think
I share my screen is how I do it.
Okay. Well, start staring away, buddy.
That way, let me close my emails. Then nobody steals my emails. All right, share screen.
That's what you're worried about. You're worried about them stealing your email. That's what you're getting in emails.
Yeah, share my entire screen. Uh-oh. Wait, I have to click a couple extra times. All right, I'm now sharing. Now I'm going to tab out to lock and load. Ta-da!
You ready?
Did it work?
I will tell you. I'm telling you. You ready?
Yeah. Does that work?
Is that a cat? Oh, Sean, another cat? Come on, man.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Hold on, guys. You're all going to disappear for a minute.
Oh.
There we go. All right, everybody. You're actually seeing the game being played now.
Yeah, you see me click on 2 different modules. It's real exciting.
There you go. Hey, look, that's still working, though.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen when it's going to try and stream all this through my wireless connection. But all right, what do you want to do?
Play one of the
demo ones.
Yeah, play one of the demo ones, since that's what they're going to be able to play and see.
All right, good old Assault on Vierville, everybody's favorite first scenario.
Everybody's played that one.
Wait, which I guess I'm going to be the attacking Germans, I guess. I'm going to hide the U.S. Let's put them in fog of war here. All right. And I'm going to give myself an advantage because I feel late.
Come on.
So if you're familiar with the Vierville scenario, you'll immediately see that. Who's echoing? Is that me?
Probably Sean.
Probably. All right. What do I got here? It probably gave me an extra, well, I think I have an extra machine gun and an extra half squad because I put it on strong advantage. So let's,
I'm surprised he didn't get a Tiger tank.
Yeah. So it's a little weird playing this not knowing where the U.S. is. So we're going to have this guy figured out, I guess. No. All right. Better luck next time. I actually don't play like this a lot, so I'm a little leery of. Oh, I have it on the messy counters. Can you see that? I zoom in a lot.
Oh, I see that. Cool.
People can't put their counters in proper stacks. You are simulated now.
Okay, Dan, you're in the game.
Oh wait, I was. No, never mind. I confused. All right.
So maybe explain to them what's going on too, so we all, we're
I'm
following.
slowly moving my units onto the board. All right. Well, I guess we found the U.S. guys there, didn't we? Oh, great. That was the guy with the machine gun. So yeah, we're just going back and forth here on impulses, like in the board game. I have people to bring on, so that reinforcements button is there. I click the button. We bring on who we want to bring on. And then it's now shows me where I could start from. I'm going to, well, now that everybody shot, didn't they? I feel like we could game this a little because we know they fired and put them here and kind of come around the edge. They're too busy shooting at the other people. Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much assault on Veerville. Turn 2. All right, we have somebody to rally, but nobody's there to rally him, so he's out of luck.
And you gave yourself an advantage?
What's that?
And you gave yourself an advantage?
Oh, yeah. It looks like I'm going to need it.
I think you're getting decimated.
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to distract everybody. He's only got a half squad here. So these guys, I think they're confident. Yeah, see, it worked. All right. But you stop there. We're done with you. All right. So now is a good old lock and load. Are we going to do a... Oh, the sniper didn't do anything. So I'm going to... I need that sniper to shoot at somebody, so we're going to pretend like we're going to go get him.
What about opportunity fire?
Oh, well, they've been doing it on me. But he didn't want to.
They shot at him.
Yeah. All right. Everybody's fired, so this is when we're going to send in everybody. I'm going to melee it, so with the pop-up, it reminds me to right-click there. In we go. Oh, no, I triggered an event at the same time. Well, first we're going to kill these guys in melee. So, oh, yeah, I didn't really have a screenshot of this. Oh, and here's that pop-up info, first of all. So you can see, well, I mean, it's pretty simple for these guys, but I don't have a complicated weapon to show. But so in melee, you would pick your targets, although there's no real picking here because it's just the one eligible target. I've got 83% chance of success. We're successful, and he did not get me back. So we are off to a good start here. Because I cheated and gave myself extra units, basically. Oh, I have more reinforcements because of that event. Oh, no. I forget. So this guy has a skill card, so it shows it in the corner there.
And Tom, what are you running this on?
This is a 2010 laptop, a Mac, MacBook Pro.
Okay.
So the resolution, I think, is 1440 by 900, I think. I should have checked I got my options. I got 3 different sides I can come in from. Well, it seems kind of wasteful to do the whole stack on that sniper. So let's get him over here for this. I wasn't really thinking ahead. I really want only the leader in this hex, but we'll just leave it like that. Look at that giant messy stack of counters, though. My God. Yeah, remember I can't see anything that's showing up on that screen. So if there's anything important, you got to tell me. All right, here's the people who are going to kill the sniper. He's just instantly dead. All right. Oh, there's some American reinforcements out there, and the map was scrolling suspiciously. I bet they're over here. I got to fix that. Yeah, I don't play with the Fog of War off very often, unfortunately. I should, I guess.
Hey, Tom, question for you. What about, I don't know if it's necessary. What about, so you don't forget there's a unit you haven't moved?
Oh, yeah. If you can just tab through them with the tab key.
Okay.
It actually, the default is to auto-select one of those groups, but a lot of people, including me, don't like that, so you can turn that off. That's on the options screen here at auto-select stack at start of setup, rally, or ops. Oh, I do have it on in here because I didn't change the defaults, but if you have that unchecked, then it's on you to tab through and see who you want to move. So here we have...
You think it would be...
Go ahead.
Question. You think it would be easier, perhaps, to maybe... the units that have already conducted an impulse during this turn to sort of be faded out a little bit?
Yeah, I could do that. Also, there's this pulsing outline on the hexes that have somebody who could act. I never mentioned that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have in this. There's the shaken guy here. I mean, he could theoretically move here, but he wants to stay there for Bowman to rally in, and then
Yes,
these guys.
sort of indication other than looking at the unit.
Yeah. Yeah. This is. I'm being kind of gamey here, but whatever. You can use your imagination. They're rushing around. I wonder what those other guys are up to, though. All right, and we got to wait on them to rally. So.
And what's showing up on the bottom of the screen then, the center again?
The bottom center?
Yeah.
That's the hex you have selected. See, nothing, nothing, nothing. One guy, pile of guys.
And the green means they're in good order, and the red means that they're.
Which green are you looking at? Oh, yeah, the green that's a phase reminder because I have a real hard time remembering a phase. And green means you're in the rally phase.
Okay.
Blue is.
Is there any way you can pull that up if you forget what green stands for?
Well, no. It's just sort of a subtle reminder. Over here on the side, it says you're in the rally phase.
Okay. Well, maybe we can make that green, whatever the color of the counters matches that.
Maybe. Well, we didn't rally. Well, that's disappointing. I mean, I'll steal his machine gun, though, while we're here. Oh, I can't remember. Can you take them away from shaking people? Oh, you can, apparently. Or I'm cheating. I can't remember which. All right. This glorious. Well, that's actually going to be a kind of a hard. He's 4 firepower.
There's some questions on here for you, Thomas. That we'll explain. He'd like to know if the game does prevent overstacking, Tom.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So it does prevent game overstocking. I got another question for you. Costa, here we go.
What's that?
It's on the screen. Oh, you can't see the screen.
No, I can't see the screen.
Joey wants to know, we did mention that Lock and Load is multiplayer. Well,
I started that at the beginning of September, and it's proceeding. I mean, it's a thing I've done many times before, dating back to when we first were working on Steel Panthers in 2000. And when I worked in the actual games industry, I was basically converting games to multiplayer. So I've done it a lot. I'm kind of sick of it, but I know I know people like it, so we're trucking away on that. There are a lot. The reason it's going to be, for the demo first is because basically every single interaction the player has on the screen has to somehow show up on the other computer. So, moving units has to go over, and then the vehicles, we've got all the turret stuff. We've got moving the vehicles, turning the vehicles, shooting these guns, those guns, all that kind of stuff. And then I have to go through and check all the various events and skills and all the weird stuff that pops up. And it's just a lot of stuff to go through, but it's set up to do it, but it just has to be done.
All right. Hey, Tom, here's another question for you. How long have you been working with David Heath? You can't say too long either, buddy.
Well, we did. I think we were on Steel Panthers stuff in 2000, I believe.
Yeah, I think I got introduced to you. You did. Was it Steel Panthers 2 or 3?
The one I actually worked on was Steel Panthers 3, converting it to multiplayer.
Right. I did. Yeah.
And Tom, I've always wanted to play Steel Panthers, but because I had a Mac, I couldn't.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, I know.
Oh, look at that. He fell for it. He off-fired on me, even though I have people ready to jump in there. Who wrote this AI?
Tom's asking now, what other war games have you worked on?
All right.
Steel Panthers 3. Got that one down.
Yeah, I worked on Panzer General, the conversion to online. They finished Panzer General, the SSI, and then they wanted to make a multiplayer version of it. And so the company that I worked at in Berkeley did that, and that was me being the programming for that. Then we did the conversion for Fantasy General to do online, but they canceled that before it was done. We were like in the middle of testing, and I guess they decided that Panzer General Online didn't sell enough to justify the CDs for Fantasy General Online. Then after that, I worked on. That was a terrible mailing. Whoops. I worked on. And there was some other stuff, and then Steel Panthers 3, I think. No, Steel Panther 3 was first. But for Steel Panthers 3, they were working on the game and we were doing multiplayer at the same time they were working on the game. So it was a lot. It was a lot different. We were sort of doing it at the same time. All these things were in the very beginning of multiplayer on the internet. So I was using these external services like MPlayer and 10net and stuff like that. And then I went out on my own for a while, and then David tracked me down in 2000 because he knew he found out I worked on Steel Panthers 3, probably from Joel or somebody.
Yeah, I think Joe Billings told me that, yeah.
Yeah. And so then we did the conversion of Steel Panthers World at War to be multiplayer.
Right. We did a lot of stuff to that.
And then there was a gap for a while, and then Lock and Load Heroes of Stalingrad, and then a gap, and then this. So, lots of things. That's a weird message. Oh, I got an achievement. Yes. I put in stupid achievements.
What are the achievements? Because we haven't talked about that at all.
No. Well, I got one there. It's hard because when the game's not actually out on beta, I can't look at them easily on Steam, so it's hard to make the list of them. But there's like a bunch of them. I think it's up to 40 now.
And given this example, because achievements are obviously not in the board game. So
no, that's an achievement. We brought friends for reinforcing a melee. That's a simple one. Some of them are not as simple as that. Well, I mean, I think we get the gist of this. You don't want to watch me play this whole thing, do you?
Let's see what the public says. No.
I mean, you'll be able to play this yourself.
Yeah, is there any? I don't think there's any ordinance.
Any what?
Any ordinance so we can see how that looks.
Oh, not on this map. No.
Do we have a scenario we can load up? You can see this. We can show them.
Yeah. What exactly do you want to see?
Tanks.
I just wanted to see how the hit charts look on the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Am I going to win this melee? I'm not going to. So yes, I had all the advantages, and I'm going to lose that scenario.
What about keyboard shortcuts?
Yeah, those kind of go in as I think of them.
Do we have programmable keyboard shortcuts, Tom? Is that something we can add to the list?
Yeah, well, there are some definitely. I can't do it on my Mac, but you can move with the keypad if you really like to. Although it's kind of funny on the hexes because some of the maps are sideways, so sometimes you can move diagonally on some keys, and sometimes you can't based on the map. Where's one with vehicles? Somebody who remembers. This one has tanks, I think. Did I read this? Blah blah blah. Oh no, maybe not. That's not vehicles. I know. Well, AppBack has vehicles, I guess. Yeah, it's got a whatchamacallit, APCs anyway. Oh, I put it on Fog of War again. Whoops, so well. But what else? All right. Oh man, there's a ton of units on this one.
Oh, there's another question for Tom.
All right, there's a pop-up for the vehicle here.
Okay, hold on. Will this program be available on iPad for those who work on the road?
Oh God, no. There is no. I mean, even a disk space is an issue. This thing is like, I think it's about 1.5 gigs because of all the maps and stuff. Sorry about that vehicle example. He didn't have
the iPad and just limit to how many things that can go on it, or is that the actual way?
I really don't know. I've never worked on iPads either, so that makes it. Now here you can do my stupid scenario I made up, which you don't even know if we're going to use or not. The Slow and the Furious. That's nothing but vehicles. It's a strangely familiar scenario where there are several Shermans versus one Tiger.
That sounds like a TV movie.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't clear off my selected. I got to put that down as a bug. Oops. I was too busy gawking. All right. Here's the vehicle info. Shows the ordnance attack over there. I'm going to put the armor chart under that too, so you can see that easier. But yeah, I mean, you can see that on the front of the counter anyway. Does that answer
Sean, do you approve, Sean?
Well, I guess it depends on how big the screen is. So if from looking at it here, the values are.
Well, remember, you're getting it running through a browser program to be online. So it's,
I don't know what.
It's not the best, and we knew that was going to happen, but it's the only way we could we found that we could do this. Now, I'm sure when we get further along, maybe we'll do a live stream and we'll just let Tom play it live and record it. That'll probably be a lot better. But for now, that gave us pretty much what we want.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look out for my old guy with bad eyes, brethren.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yes.
You also see the inquiring markers that are also on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, line. I don't know if I'm in line of sight for this guy. Nah.
Hey, let's see the line of sight tool.
I could. Oh, yes, I could do that, except I'm cramped on my keyboard here. Yes, there we go. All right, so I would go from here to here. Oh, it's blocked. Curses. By all those trees and whatnot.
Probably see it if it was squad leader.
Survive. These are just shots to warm him up, really. All right, now he blows up one tank. I predict. Oh, he missed. Oh, I forgot the button.
I forget to do that all the time. It's like, how did my crew get Oh, that's right.
And this one, great program. I'm not going to let you lead me into battle, though. I'm getting a little, last game, this game.
Yeah. I mean, he can't shoot. Just forget. All right. This time we're going to remember the button. This time for sure.
Well, see, in the computer game, you're forced to button. Now, when you guys play the board game, do you actually use that rule or not?
I thought it was just you have to choose at the beginning of your turn is all.
No, but I'm saying, do you actually enforce that rule when you play, or do you play more, reality based? Which,
yeah, I don't know.
You're going to be outside the cupola, and then when you start taking in rounds, you're not going to button. You're just going to drop down because buttoning really only helps you for anything coming in overhead, artillery, things like that.
I'll just follow the board game rules.
For digital, you'd have to. I was just asking on the board game what everybody did.
Yeah.
Well, when I do it by default, I consider all the vehicles open. But when I'm playing tabletop, for some reason, I'm more aware and remember to drop my crews down whenever I start getting into potential enemy range. I just forget to do it when I play the digital version.
Devin, how did you like the computer game that you played? I mean, did you find it enjoyable?
Oh, extremely enjoyable. The one thing that I really did appreciate is that the sounds were really good and really different and wasn't the same stock footage that I've been hearing in every tabletop strategic war game since Talonsoft did Tiller's campaign series. Because I swear to God, I think it's the exact same vehicle sounds, the exact same machine gun sounds, the exact same gunfire sounds in every strategic game since Tiller did the Talonsoft series. So I was very, very happy that the sounds were very, very different. But yeah, I mean, as far as enjoyment goes, I have a blast with it, except for, when it kicks my butt very hard.
On the sound, to give you a little bit of insight on that, Tom and I had, I think it was you and I, Tom, that we were doing Steel Panthers. One of the things I hated about playing computer games was you could hear a sound and knew what happened because it's always the same sound. I also hated it because it made it boring, And so we had made up a library of, let's say, 3 machine gun sounds or 5 machine gun sounds and 5 tanks moving. And then the computer randomly took one of the 5 each time. So you never really heard the same one all the time. You just heard one of 5 or one of whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, Tom, you have that in here too.
Yeah. In fact, I extended it a little further on the because I remember I was asking you for sounds and you had other things to do. So I like when it came to, I had to put in some sounds for Melee, and I needed sounds from David, and he wasn't giving me any sounds. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just make the Melee sound, and I make it out of what guns they're using, and I have some random screams in there and throw in some grenade noises. And so it's definitely gonna be different every time because it's sort of doing it based on who's in the melee and what's happening. So stuff like that.
I think they should all be Wilhelm screams from the movie.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
No, that's one.
Yeah, the one that's like in every movie.
Every single movie, yeah.
Like
Stormtrooper falling off the ledge when they're trying to cross.
Yes,
that's the easiest one that everybody remembers.
All right, let me see if we have any more comments here, guys.
But now we answered that guy about the overstacking, right? It just doesn't let you. I mean, it won't let you move into that situation.
Right. Someone wants to know, where am I got this from? wants to. Is it possible to make the? I'm not sure. Okay. If I'm understanding you right there, buddy, he's asking is it possible to take the line of sight program and make it a separate app? That sounds more like an iPad issue, but if someone wants to check the line of sight out.
I don't know. I mean, if you would want to go to all that trouble, you'd want to do it like pixel by pixel, I guess. I don't know. That's I don't understand that either.
I think it may be for using on the tabletop as a
I think it's something to be able to use on the tabletop to make the 2 hexes and see if there's something blocking it.
To settle the debate once and for all when they're arguing with their buddy.
Yeah, I thought that's what those little laser pointers were for.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but if your hands are shaking,
Yeah, but the interpretation is still in here.
You do what I do for the computer game, right? You write down the results, and so next time you can check again that we've decided that between hex B3 and O4 there is no line of sight. I keep records like that so it runs faster.
All right, Sean. Next week we have you scheduled, I believe, right?
No, you told me the 10th.
You're right.
There. That's
I think it's going to be episode 6. I think episode 5 is going to be the guys at the convention in Atlanta. So that's going to be Friday. So Sean, what? I heard you adding like 4,500 decks to the game now. Or what's going on?
Well, someone has a ridiculous Kickstarter add-on, so I've been busy working on those things. I don't want to reveal what the Kickstarter goals are yet, but for that game, but they are additional troops, equipment, leaders, and scenarios.
And the new solo campaign too, right?
Yeah, solo campaign is part of the plan, and right now I'm finishing up on some of the DYO stuff. I had to get all the points all set for that, so working with a guy who's helping me out with that. And the solo stuff is interesting. A card game solo is interesting because my initial thought is playing with another person sitting across from you, so you kind of have to idealize how you can play both sides in a solo perspective. But then I picked up this game called 1066 Tears to Many Mothers, and they turn it sideways, so that's doable for that to do solo. So it will probably be something in the lines with that.
All right, guys. Anybody got any last questions for Tom? Maurice, you've been very quiet this time.
Yeah, I'm good.
And you're 0 for 4 for coming on time. We've been noting that. Devin's taking a
Well,
I
got
my
the
list.
notice. I got the notice about 6 minutes before, and I was actually in the middle of something, so I didn't know if I was going to get that in time or not.
Oh, well, Dev's going to be keeping the keys to the entrance, so you just you don't get one next week. It's Devin.
I'm the gatekeeper. What can I say?
Well, I won't be here next week or the week after.
Where you going?
I got stuff going. I got a game on Friday night, and then I'll be in San Diego the following week.
What? You're actually going to be playing a real video, a real game?
No, broadcasting a hockey game. So I got that on Friday, and then
he does the hockey broadcast. I actually heard him. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Was it a couple weeks ago when I was on Facebook
You sent
Live?
me a link and I put it on.
Yeah.
I listened to the game for quite a bit. It was actually very good. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I thought I would.
And then the following week, I'll be in San Diego for SD Historical Games Convention. So,
yeah, I'm going to be skipping that this year.
Yeah.
I refuse to leave until the game show up. All right. And Devin, when do you leave?
Thursday. I fly out Thursday. I'll be getting into Atlanta about 9 o'clock and hopefully slightly intoxicated in the hotel about 2 hours after that. And Bright Eye and Bushy Tail Friday morning to start setting up for the con, and we'll hopefully all the audio visual stuff will be set up by the time we go live Friday evening.
I know that Mark and I are going to test it out on Wednesday, so we should be good. And we really have very little issue with the software. But we plan to have cards up and graphics and images and all kinds of stuff for Sean's game, Point Blank. And I'll brag on Sean a little bit. I really think he's outdone himself this time.
Huh, what?
Yeah.
That's not what you told me.
Well, I don't want you getting your head too big,
No. There'll be none of that. Do we want to talk about the map?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not? Let the guys know what we decided to do.
So one of the problems with Point Blank was trying to describe how to play a game without an actual map board. There's the concept of using counters for determining what row you're in and what sector you're in. So as you can get closer or away from the enemy. So we said, let's do a map sheet. So we did a map sheet with a grid, and that seemed to work, but the map sheet tended to be really, really large. So we found out that we're going to probably go to tiles and make people put out actual tiles that you can play the game on until you get comfortable enough where you don't need those anymore. But then that'll allow you, if you have a smaller game table, you can play a smaller scenario and not have to spread out this big, huge vinyl map that'll take up 4x6 on a game board. So. I want to thank one of my buddies for that who gave me the idea, and I think that's going to work out really nice. And so we're looking to do that.
All right. Well, Tom, just wanted to thank you for showing up, and
now I can go back to my programmer page.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Everyone, give a round of applause. All right, and let me just make sure there's no last questions because I got yelled at last week from Steve because I missed all these things, but I don't see any more. Okay, private, no.
He asked for any 360 computer games by chance. Not exactly sure what that.
I think that was, who's that, for Tom?
Ronnie asked that, the Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh, there's.
I think it was for any games that you may have worked on in the past, I believe.
I worked on some for the company I originally worked for in Berkeley, then later on would hire me from time to time to do contracting jobs. And so I worked on a game called Stacking, and there was 3 at the same time. One I did the most work on was Costume Quest. And that came from 360. So we were working on the same code as 360 stuff, but then it was for PC to convert them to be on Steam or something. That was a while ago. I don't know. 360 is pretty similar to the PC. It's mainly an interface issue for war games because you want to be able to click on all these little hexes and little units and whatnot. And with a controller, it's kind of a pain.
Okay, guys. Well, I don't think there's any other questions or not. Everyone, you know what to do now, right? Start your waving.
Well, that is all you have for this episode. Keep gaming, and may God bless you and keep you until next time. On the air is a Lock and Load Publishing production.